With so many options, why choose Arizona State University?
For me, the only online option was ASU because of the quality. Their faculty was really involved with their students and care about your personal journey. The dedication to my personal development from my professors, that's been extremely valuable to me.
Earn your degree from the nation's most innovative university. Online. That's a degree better. Explore more than 350 plus undergraduate, graduate, and certificate programs at asuonline.asu.edu.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and Matt Flynn.
Okay, here we go.
Where the plays get broken down and science gets denied.
Hey, they said I gotta come off the bench.
Hour 2 of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio, starts now.
All right, welcome back in. Hour number 2, OTB, here on this Tuesday morning.
Hey, Alondra, I know this song obviously is not part of it. What is our theme today on our music? I haven't recognized a
I don't
song.
know. I think
You haven't?
Wait, you haven't? None of them?
I don't think so.
I've recognized them.
I missed one or two of them.
So
when I put
is
my headphones.
Oasis?
Oasis was the first one, yeah.
Like a deep track? Like a deep cut?
Not really too deep.
I don't think so.
I mean,
but
what do you want, Champagne Supernova or
So,
Wonderwall and that's it?
I know,
got two
that's what I'm
for
saying. Like,
Oasis.
Wow.
I don't think it's a deep cut because I really like Oasis, but I think that anybody else would think that anything that's not Wonderwall or Champagne Supernova
like,
is a deep
I'm
cut.
not going to say they're random,
Casual.
but like older British bands. I mean,
No,
Actually,
and I went-
after your
I play the hits.
after
you
your
know?
98 degrees, it should have been 98 degrees.
It should have been.
It should have.
today.
And then I went
That's on me. I was trying to think
STP, and then I went Alice in Chains. So I don't know.
Okay,
what it
well, I
is.
don't know what
It's
I
just-
didn't
We're
recognize.
just
then.
vibing.
I love
Yeah.
Alice in Chains. I feel like I know a lot of their
It's
deep
from Jar
cuts
of
as well.
Flies.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, respect. That's it. That's all I got. I just wanted to know.
This is a
Yeah,
random.
no, that's fine.
This is a random thought, but I'm kind of sitting back a little bit
Oh,
today, and
okay.
this light is incredibly bright.
Yeah.
Like, you know, when you take a picture and it's like an overcan light that's like shining down on you, it's never going to be good for anybody
Right.
involved. That's what we have here in this studio.
Yeah.
I hate big
love
lights
that.
in houses too. And like
Like-
this is like
In the year of our Lord
The biggest.
2025, can we just get rid of those and just get like some ring lights?
yeah. You ever
You
heard
can
of
get those things at Amazon.
Have you ever heard of
right?
like just yellow light, warm lighting?
like my forehead looks like Casper the Friendly Ghost on this light right
so
here.
when I'm hosting,
And I'm a tan fella.
you could kind of imagine what that would
Yeah,
look
that's
like.
true.
Right?
It's blinding.
Well, one time I wore a white
Not a
shirt
tan
and I just
fella.
looked like an angel, like just like an outline of white.
That's what they call you,
Then-
Angel.
Yeah.
So Friday, I'm like, okay, I'll wear a black shirt. Complete
Yeah.
opposite.
no.
It worked, except the fact that I looked even more pale than I did before. Like it was, it was awful.
Like a check.
Like, because I mean, I'm not, you
Yeah.
know, you're a fair skinned guy. Like,
Right.
I'm not. But here in this lighting,
You are.
Yeah.
oh
I don't know.
boy,
I've been to the beach. Look how tan I look.
he looked the same.
Does anybody out there go to, wherever they buy their light bulbs, Lowe's, Home Depot,
Yeah.
light bulb store?
St. Gabriel Hardware, shout out to the local.
Shout out.
Yeah.
Shout out. Does anybody go there and be like, yep, I'm going to buy the white lights?
You're saying not the warm ones, but like the
Yeah,
You mean
because
like
you,
the
you got
LED
white, you got
not like the
yellow.
warm,
bright
yeah.
white is what it's called.
Yeah, they got bright white. They got
Yeah.
white.
No,
They
nobody
got
wants
yellow.
that. Nobody
I
wants
don't.
that.
I don't.
I don't
Does
know.
anybody? Why do they sell them?
They have yellow.
Yellow?
Yellow. You got yellow. You got the warm lights, the ones that don't suck
Yeah.
in my house.
You got any of them yellow lights?
I just don't understand because
Hey, you
usually
got some
there's
of them
more
yellows?
of the white ones, the bright
Yeah,
white
that's 'cause
lights.
nobody-
Then
that's 'cause nobody bought them.
Like, why are they stocking them?
I don't know.
Like, I get it in an industrial. If you got a radio studio, like if maybe you're
I don't really know.
Or like a
if-
vanity?
maybe you're
A girl?
an artist who sells their work on TikTok. I don't
That's
know.
what you have a
And, like
ring
you gotta
light
take
for.
some pictures.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's what you got a ring light.
Yeah, we just need like ring light, ring light, ring light, ring light. I think it'd be
So-
better.
But like
In-
white light does not do anything for anybody.
In our kitchen, in our house, the lights came this way. Every light in our house is like the warm white, right?
Okay, yeah.
Right over, we have like this little, like, it looks like a chopping block. It's like an island style thing. Right above it are these low hanging lights, and they're like the LED white. Now, I never use them, but like if you turn them on, it's those. Everything else is normal. It's like, but like they're these weird like tube style lights.
So
I don't
they
know how to
have to
change
be,
them. I just
yeah.
never turn them on.
That's gross. You just gotta. A lot of times they're like really tiny. So you just gotta pop it off. There's gonna be serial number on there. Google the serial number. It'll bring you up to some sort of user manual. It's going to tell you all you need to know.
Danny and I used to get on to Danny when he was the video producer because like that light over there where you're sitting like would just be hella bright.
The lights and also
But,
the
dude, you got to
angle.
turn that down.
The angle of the camera of me and Tay, that like this one that he has up on the screen right now, terrible camera.
Yeah.
You
But
can't
y'all
even
have
really
warm
see
lighting.
us.
Y'all have a little bit of warm
We have a little
lighting.
bit of warm lighting,
Yeah.
and I look pretty tan. But
Yeah, see, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm usually tan with
I
you,
look-
but
yeah.
not here.
no.
Not in this light.
When we were training for the combine here at Tom Shaw's Training Academy in Orlando, Florida, we trained at the Wide World of Sports at Disney.
You loved it.
And he used to yell at the lineman, before you go to the combine, go get a spray tan.
Yeah, for sure.
He said because tan fat looks better than white fat.
It
Yes.
does every time.
Yes. If you can't tone it, tan it.
That's exactly right.
Nice.
I like that.
Yeah.
that. Print the
Yeah.
shirts.
Yeah.
I didn't come up with
we
it.
had to do that too in Tempe.
Yeah.
We either you work out with your shirt off and you get that tan that way,
Yes.
Yep.
or like because we were on the campus of Arizona State, it's like you go get a spray tan.
Yeah,
So I just worked out
immediately.
with my shirt off. I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm not. Yeah.
That's what you got to do when you got to
Spray
stand
tan.
in front of a bunch of grown-ass men with a jockstrap on.
Imagine that.
Let them stare at
Not
you.
only like to our listeners, imagine.
Can you do a 360?
Yeah,
Oh,
not
slow
That
one.
is crazy.
Slow
not
360.
not just
Do it the
one
other way
time
now.
for me. Like at the Senior Bowl
Touch your toes.
and at the combine, you are in a room full of like the highest executives in the NFL.
Yeah.
Like 20 rows deep
Yeah.
of people, and Jacob Hester, running back, Louisiana State University, and you walk out there and you got a girdle on.
No.
And you gotta do your arms out. You gotta kind of like do like a little twist. They give like height and weight and
Don't they
like, all
measure your
that.
hand
Look,
in
They,
there?
they measure right, like
They-
they measure
they do the
everything
hand
right
right
there,
there.
and then they say it to the crowd. Can you imagine like if T-Bob would have had to go through that process? T-Bob 6'4", 295, 9-inch hands. Repeat, 9 inches.
9.5 shoe.
T-Bob's unplugging the
women's.
microphone like shh.
That's
Just
crazy.
write it down.
It
that
is-
feels super
It
unnecessary
is
to
super,
me.
and I don't know if you did it because you were a quarterback. It doesn't really matter. Like they had those body fat percentage pods,
Yeah.
and you had to get in those. They got your body fat, and the body fat was also announced on stage.
Oh gosh.
Can you imagine some of those big boys? Like
A literal meat market.
that's what it was. Yeah.
I feel
That
like
feels
part of that though is
unnecessary.
like the
I wish they would just
mental
bid. What if they
aspect
just
of it.
bid right there?
No, that's
It's like-
not. But that's the thing is like, okay,
What it feels like.
this just feels very.
Raise your paddle, Jerry. Raise
I'm
your
not.
paddle.
I'm not like accusing anybody of anything, but it feels very Diddy because like, to me, I just feel like these people are so rich, and they just get so bored that they're like, let's go look at these men in their
Yeah.
jock straps
I
and
had a
make
girdle.
them.
I had a girdle.
Yeah.
And all-
What's the
I didn't go
difference?
full jock strap.
Is there a difference?
Jock
Jock
strap
has like
is
Like a-
Assets.
yeah, you got your cheeks
Oh,
out
okay.
of jock
the
Okay,
strap.
okay.
cheeks are exposed.
But a girdle, you have it.
Girdle-
Girdle's like
A girdle's
boy
like
shorts.
track
Okay.
shorts
For a
that you
girl.
could like put
You know
pads
what I mean?
in if
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
need to.
yeah. So it's like thong versus.
I feel like
Yeah, yeah,
In the-
yeah.
In the
Thong
world of
versus
like-
Spanx. There you go.
Yeah.
in the
There you
world
go.
of yoga
Spanx or the
pants
girdle?
and now yoga shorts, I think the girdle's more normalized. Like it's a normal thing now.
True.
Right? Yeah.
True.
So it's not that
Yeah,
big.
it's
Deal.
like-
I just
Yeah.
didn't. In my head, I had something different for a girdle. Like I guess I thought a girdle and a jock strap were the same.
No, it's
thing.
like yoga shorts. A good way to
Yeah.
put it.
Did you
Yeah.
did you wear a girdle? Plain?
Jock strap, girdle on top of that pants.
Yeah. I always thought it was wild. Like
Yeah.
in all the new technology that came out with uniforms and compression shorts and ways to keep your boys intact.
Yeah.
Of the people that would play tackle football in the NFL with just a straight up old school jock strap underneath their pants, like
Love a
jock
good
strap,
jock strap,
like
though.
like a not even a new one, like with the rubber strands like kind of sticking out,
Yeah,
of
yeah,
like
for sure.
it like some strands that popped and stuff.
It just felt
like
right.
go in the drawer.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't their own personal one.
Yeah.
They'd go in the drawer of the the XLs or whatever.
Yeah. True.
So
Big true. Used jock
We're
strap.
talking about
Oh, they're used.
Some people would
Well, they
grab
were-
the used
yeah,
Some
ones.
of our
But
some of
washed.
our girdles were used. Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah.
well, so like even in Green Bay was the worst about like
That's
uniforms
sick.
and like letting
Yeah.
you take things home.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, there was a big drawer of socks, girdles, jock straps, and they would just wash them. You'd throw them in the bin, and
That's
they'd wash
so
them.
nasty.
Even in the NFL.
So
Yeah.
did y'all did that all the way up to the NFL?
I never one time.
I did. I wore
a jock
strap, girdle, pants.
I
In
was
my
just wondering, like,
career of playing football, never
people
one jock strap.
still
I
do
did.
it?
Yeah.
Probably.
I just know,
That's the
like,
thing.
when y'all were in the NFL,
and I know we gotta,
was
I know we got to kind of stay on clock here. One last thing, and I'm going to send Taylor a picture of this. In the 94 maybe Sugar Bowl, a bowl gift for the Florida Gators, a custom jock strap.
that's awesome.
Initials.
And I've got
Initials
a
on
picture
the
from
front?
Doring to prove it. He
No.
sent it to me one day. I'll send it to Taylor.
Unbelievable.
All right, let's take a break on time. Look at us, because when we come back, New Orleans Saints offensive lineman Will Clapp will join us right here on OTB.
Off the bench.
All right, go to trashrangers.com for your home, for your business. They need to be picking up your trash. They are the most dependable. They are going to give you that so very important reminder.
Ooh.
Hey, my guy, put out the trash so you don't get in trouble. Like that itself, like if that's the only thing they did, it would be worth the price of admission. But then you get the customer service on top of that. You get the, hey, it's a holiday, but we're still going to make sure your trash gets picked up. So, I mean, so many different things that they're going to be able to help you out with, again, at your home, at your business. Go to the website today to sign up. That is trashrangers.com.
Yeah, we were out of town all week last week, so like trash still came.
Yeah.
Trash still came and picked up, and I'm usually the one that takes the trash out, but thank God for weekly reminders, right? Reminded my wife and everyone to get the trash out. So whether it's residential, business, commercial, industrial, whatever it is, give them a call, see how they can help you, let them size it, let them help you. Trashrangers.com.
2007 champs, purple and gold to the core. This is Off the Bench with Hester and Flynn, Baton Rouge's go-to for all things Louisiana sports.
All right, welcome back in OTB 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. And as we said throughout the show, it is here. It is football season. It is training camp time. Excited to catch up with one of our guys, former LSU All-SEC player, now going into year number 8 in the NFL, New Orleans Saints offensive lineman Will Clapp. What's up, Will? How we doing, man?
What's going on, fellas? Appreciate y'all having me on.
How in the hell are you going into year number 8 already?
Make us feel
that
old.
does not feel like that's even possible.
Y'all must feel old because I was a little kid when y'all were crushing Florida. So I mean, no, man, number 8, it's flown by quick, man. Yeah, I think I've gone at this year at a time, but after every season, you kind of move the bar, and excited to go after year number 8 now.
So what's it like going into training camp now, going into year number 8? Because Flynn and I were telling kind of training camp stories. Like when you get older in your career, it's a little bit different. You have like a different mindset entering training camp. Like, so for you, what is that mindset now as you're going into year number 8? You're an established veteran. You're a vested veteran in the NFL. Is anything different for you?
I was just telling the guys, like, the nerves stay the same. Like, I'm still just as nervous, excited just to get going as I was when I was a rookie. But there's also, I'm confident in, what I do now. Like, I've figured out who I am as a player. And I also, found my role. And one thing I've, enjoyed over this past couple of years is not only, doing my thing, but also helping, these younger guys figure out, what they're good at and, how to establish their role in the NFL, kind of like what some older guys did for me when I was younger.
Yeah, there's a big difference going into training camp, just from like a mental and pressure standpoint of like you just have to focus on your physical job now instead of like learning how to be a pro, learning offenses. Like there's a huge pressure off your back. But like I'm curious as to this is your second tenure with the Saints, 4 years with the Saints. Spent some time with the Chargers, last year with the Bills. Now we're back in New Orleans, and there's been obviously new coaching change. Like, is there any familiar faces or things that you see now that you're like, all right, that's the same, or has everything just been kind of like a wholesale change?
No, I've been pretty lucky. So I played for Kellen in 2023 in LA. Coach Nugent, our O-line coach, I've had him when I was at the Saints my first run. I was hit with him in 2 years in LA. So I've kind of been lucky in the terms of like I've already been in this offense. I've almost been like a sounding board for these current guys of like trying to figure out what's going on, because I've already been through it, going through it in 23, knowing, just being with Nuge my whole career. So like you said, I'm going to this camp kind of hitting the ground running just from a familiarity standpoint, and just worrying about, putting my best product on the field physically every day. Because I feel like mentally, I've already gone through the ups and downs of figuring out a new playbook, back in 23 with Kellen.
What is the plan for you this year, Will? Because obviously the center position is going to be, the one that's out in front, but you've played everything. Like, you've played tight end. I mean, I remember watching you your first time with the Saints. It's like you're reporting. I feel like every time you're going in there and you're playing some tight end stuff, like what do you feel like the plan is going to be for you this time around with the Saints?
I think it's be a similar deal. It's anything and everything. If you're a backup in this league, you need to be able to play multiple spots. It's something that I got lucky enough that Coach Miles, when I was at LSU, he was always big on having guys like me and Posick, be able to play a bunch of different spots. So, I mean, I literally freshman year played right guard, sophomore year played left guard, played center my junior year. And that's, I think, helped me in the NFL. And as a backup, you need to be able to play multiple spots. Like you said, I played tight end. So it's really just anything I can do to, make myself valuable to make this roster every year.
Yeah, so Will, I kind of heard once you signed with the Saints, I heard you talk a few times and say, like, when you heard Kellen Moore was getting the job, like you were hopeful that they would reach out and something could happen, y'all could make it work. I kind of want to know, like, as Louisiana and the whole, like, gets familiar with Kellen Moore as a head coach for the Saints, like, we all want to see what the product looks like on the field, but what made you excited to want to rejoin with him and the offense that you're going to get, like, immersed back into?
Yeah, I think the most exciting thing about Kellen, as a play caller when I was with him in 23 was, he gave us the control to, make things happen on the field. And he showed us, the utmost confidence, even when we weren't getting it done on the field. I mean, you guys have been in these games where, let's say you're not running the ball well and, your coach just abandons it. You're just like, all right, well, it's the second quarter and this is like a 2-minute drill now because we're not running the ball well.
Yeah.
Like, Kellen would just come up to us on the O-line and be like, hey, guys, I'm still calling it, so figure it out. Like, I know y'all are going to get this done. Like those small little moments, like, he never has a panic. He never changes. Things are going well, things are going bad. He's the same guy. I'm excited just to be back around that. And, the staff he's put together, I love my time with Nuss. Also just being able to chop it up about LSU football with him. It's always a highlight of my day, being with Nuge and the rest of the guys. So it's an exciting staff. It's, and I think, Kellen being at the forefront, he's creating a great environment for us.
Well, I kind of want to go back to you talking about playing multiple positions, and you've had to kind of do it all. Well, a guy like Trevor Penning is going to maybe have to do some different things. He's played a lot of tackle. He's going to try to probably play some guard this year. Like, are those conversations maybe that you've already had or that you will have with him saying, hey, this was my mindset when I went into a game because I could have played 3 different positions in any given game that I went into?
Yeah, just talking with Trev about the position change. I mean, he's really embraced the guard move. Trev's a super talented guy, and some of the stuff we've seen in OTAs. I mean, we didn't have any live periods, but in the individual periods where we're honing in on the technique. I mean, this guy's a freak. I'm super excited to watch him develop and help any way I can. I know Nuge and TJ and Ja. There's some great guys to be able to mentor this guy, and he's already played a ton of ball, and I think his best football is still ahead of him. I think this is his 4th season. Finally getting to play inside, and this dude, he gets you in a phone booth, he's going to beat you up. So these dudes are going to be closer to him. I'm excited to see what he can go through this season, and hopefully this leads to a big contract and lets him be the player that we all thought he was going to be coming out.
Will, I can't not go an interview without asking something about quarterbacks, right? So you got 2 young guys that are playing and competing right now, and I don't want to know about anything specifically about that quarterback competition, but having yourself and other really vested veterans leadership can always help a young quarterback or any young player come in and have to step in and take on a role, especially position of all positions, a starting quarterback role. What have you seen from the young quarterbacks as far as just diving into a new offense and trying to take, some sort of leadership role, vocal role within the team, within the offense?
Yeah, I mean, these guys have been great all throughout OTAs. It seems like they're attached to Scotty and Nuss's hip on just trying to, get every bit of information they can. And, there wasn't much like live team periods. They had a couple 7-on-7s, but, we weren't doing live bullets with pass rush and everything. But I think the thing they did the best job of in OTAs was becoming, just close with all the guys. I mean, between Spence, Tyler, Jake, they all, every day just trying to do something with all of us. I mean, y'all know how OTAs go. It's golf central. So like the boys were golfing every day. Like, we were all just like getting to know each other, man. Yeah, the rounds go crazy in OTAs, but we, that's the part that I feel like, especially for QBs, is just getting to know everybody and being great friends with all these guys, because the relationships matter, especially with your receivers and all that. So I think they embrace that role. I think they're all excited to compete, and the competition I'm excited to see during this camp.
Now, Will, I know you are splitting time, I believe, through New Orleans and California, but you've gone through training camps at LSU. You've done them there for the Saints in some of the hottest places in America, and you got spoiled like I did. When I went to training camp in San Diego, it's like, this is the easiest thing I've ever done. Are we ready? Are we mentally ready to get back into the heat and humidity of a South Louisiana training camp?
I'm ready for it, but I won't say I'm gonna love the heat of like you said. I mean, I was in Newport Beach for 2 years during training camp, and it felt like winter out there. I mean, I've had Christmases hotter than what we were doing in training camp there. And then I was in Rochester, New York last year for camp. So it's definitely be different, but like I said, the motivation is still the same. Being in this league so long, it's an addictive thing, just being in the locker room and wanting to keep your career going. So I'm just as excited, Newport or New Orleans.
Yeah. Well, you don't have to lie to us about the heat, dude. Like, I get it. I was in Green Bay for 1 year, and I came back to try to do 110s with a team at LSU during the summer. 1 year.
Yep.
And I couldn't make it past 6 or 7. I was like, nah, this isn't for me anymore. My body had just shut off being in the heat. So
we're about to go run conditioning tests in a little bit, and it's nowhere near what we did with the 110s.
NFL conditioning tests are kind of a joke.
Wait, Moffitt's not going to be out there yelling at you, whispering sweet nothings?
Yeah, I was part of that group that ran 32 110s in one conditioning test day, and then we did a leg workout after. So, yeah, I won't be going through that today. It's amazing the things you can do when you're 19 or 20 years old.
Very true.
It is true. So, all right. So this is what I'm really curious about. Have we talked technique? I know we haven't run it because we don't have pads on yet. I say we. We're Saints people over here.
Yeah.
So y'all haven't worked because you don't have pads on, but have y'all talked technique, scheme? What's the X's and O's look like of a tush push?
Of a tush push. So we haven't talked about tush push yet.
Oh, man.
I know tush push, they told us they have specific drills they do.
Oh, yeah.
They have not showed it to us.
Okay.
I'm excited to see.
You're going to be in there. Like, if there is a situation of a tush push, you'll be in there, right? There's no doubt.
I mean, would be pretty cool. I mean, obviously, I think what makes the tush push what it was for the Eagles was Jason Kelce just being an absolute freak. But I'm excited to see they said they have specific drills they did for us. So I'm excited to see the film on it.
All right, Will, last one before we let you go, and we truly appreciate the time. Brother Martin, Jesuit, our boss Gordy Rush, proud Jesuit alum. He wants to know how we feeling this year.
I'm feeling good. We got some good athletes. Got a 5-star receiver at Brother Martin. I'll definitely be locked in for that game. I got Foster.
I was about to say, will you and Foster have some kind of a bet towards that game? I mean, hell, y'all can even go to the game.
We'll definitely go to the game. No betting though. I mean, Foster, you guys know him. He's gonna be messing with me 24/7 until this game. So I'm hoping the Satyrs can get this done.
On the screen right now.
Yeah, I'm surprised Foster's not fighting this way. Yeah, I know. Hey, Will.
If he knew I was on the screen, he would be in here trying to overtake us.
All right, last real quick question. What was that one place place to eat in New Orleans that, like, when you were there your first 4 years, you're like, yeah, like this is a place I hammered every other week? Or, like, when you signed back, you're like, that's the place I'm excited that I can frequent now instead of like going there once every now and then when I'm back home.
I would say my spot, my family's always gone to is Impastato's, a little Italian joint in Metairie. We eat there a ton. So yeah, right when I got back, called Mr. Joe and we went over there and ate. And it's like I can't eat there a ton because I got to watch the weight these days. But whenever I get a break, I'm definitely heading over there.
Got to make weight.
No doubt. Hey,
Every
Will,
Tuesday.
we appreciate the time, man. Obviously been following your career, LSU, Saints, Chargers, Bills, back to New Orleans. 8 years in the NFL, man. That is a hell of an accomplishment. So congrats on that, and congrats on being back in New Orleans and continued success, man.
I appreciate it, guys.
All right, there he is, Will Clapp. Used to be an intern back in the old days, way before I got on OTB of OTB.
Sweet.
Yeah, him and DJ Chark, I believe, they were both interns.
A little summer internship.
I believe they were. So, again, back in the beginning days of OTB. So, shout out to Will Clapp, 8 years in the NFL. That is a big, big accomplishment there.
That's huge, man.
All right, we'll step away, and when we come back, we'll be joined by LSU defensive coordinator Blake Baker right here on OTB.
Off the bench.
All right, go to PelicanRoof.com. That's a website for Pelican Roofing, and they right there on the homepage let you know all you need to know about their business. 5-star reviews, Google, Facebook, Yelp, all right there. It's literally the first thing you see. But also, explore the website. If you want an instant roof quote, your home or your business, you go top right corner, you click on it, you type in your address, it gives you an outline of your roof and a really good idea of what it would cost to replace your roof. And speaking of cost, check out the financing options. It is right there. It is a tab on the homepage. Click on it. They've got some great deals going on when it comes to financing because, as we all know, having a roof and having the proper roof on your home is something that you have to have, and they're going to help you out and help you get it.
Yeah, and just with offices in Baton Rouge and Lafayette, they will actually dedicate a project manager to your job and your job only. So give them a call. Service and quality of PelicanRoof.com.
Locked in on LSU football 24/7. You're listening to Off the Bench.
All right, welcome back in. OTB 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Let's go now to one of our guys, LSU defense coordinator Blake Baker. Coach, always a pleasure. Hope you're doing well. Training camp is upon us. Coach, what training camp is this for you between playing at Tulane, coaching over the years? Do we have a number of what training camp this is for you?
In college football, I guess it'd probably be year 20, I think.
All right, so
getting old, man.
I know, Coach. Hey, we both hit 40 over here, me and Flynn. So we feel that. But I asked that because I would assume you probably have the same feeling. Maybe it's different as a player and a coach. I've never been a coach, but we were talking about it didn't matter year 4, 5, 6 in the NFL, whatever. There's still this feeling in your gut. And look, it's a good feeling. Football is upon us, but 20 years in, do you still get that same feeling?
Yeah, it's kind of a mix of butterflies, of excitement and anticipation, and anytime, especially and I always go back to whenever I first started playing. You couldn't have freshmen come in early in the summers. Summers overall were probably 50-50 because schools didn't necessarily pay for summer school. Yeah. So kind of that anticipation build up of seeing the guys again. And I think if you start to lose that feeling, it's probably time to hang it up.
All right. I think everybody has this, Coach, but a training camp story from your playing days. And we were talking about it a couple of weeks ago, there was one practice where and this was at LSU, like every running back went down with cramps. Like Ali Broussard, Justin Vincent, like all these guys, like they just kept cramping and they were out of practice. And so it was me and Sean Jordan, who we both played fullback, but I was playing some tailback, and we just rotated fullback and tailback. Like Sean had no tailback experience, but it's all we had left. And so first team, second team, third team, it didn't matter. We were just rotating. And like that was one of those days that ended up in like 25 IVs, you know.
Yep.
In the locker room, and you can't really even do that anymore. But I have to imagine that you have one of those training camp stories.
Oh yeah, again, back when we played, you had freshmen. You had 3 days of freshman camp, and we actually went away. When I was at Tulane, my first 2 years, we went to St. Paul's in Covington and did fall camp there. Then my third year, we went to Southeastern before they brought back their football team there on Strawberry Field. But I'll never forget. And I want to say it was at Southeastern. I know it was one of the places that we traveled to for camp. But after some practices, in between 2 days, of course, you had to get that lift in too, right? And man, I remember a guy on our team was in the middle of a bench press and full body cramp, just locked up, and the bar just laid there on his chest. And you're like, man, like you said, that wouldn't happen nowadays, you know. But yeah, we've all had those days, especially in South Louisiana. You could try to beat the heat, but obviously you're doing 2 days and you're getting in there, starting before the sun came up and then when the sun was going down, so it made for long days. But I do remember that was it was kind of really scary, to be honest with you, watching a guy full body cramp with the bench press bar in his hand.
Yeah, so when we were playing, and everybody on the team, well, not everybody, but there's like 20, 30 guys that had mopeds. And so I was one of these guys that had a moped. I'd zoom around from my dorm or whatever to the locker room. And I was walking to my moped after training camp practice. And I'm a quarterback now, right? So all we do is like play catch and run around a little bit. But like I was walking and I just felt a little twitch in my calf. And I was like, you know what? Maybe I don't jump on my moped right this second. I walked back in the training room, full body cramp, the worst, most excruciating pain. I was like, thank God. If I was on my moped right now, full body cramp, I'd be laid out like at the circle right now.
Yeah.
So thank God.
You probably have a pretty scratched up face. You're just controlling it once you lock up.
That's right. Maybe career would have been over right there off the Toyota moped. Coach, I want to talk about your defense a little bit. Jake and I had the opportunity at SEC Media Days last week to talk with Chris Hilton, Nussmeier, and your guy, Whit Weeks. And I want to ask you, like, just watching Whit control a room, watching him talk with the passion, I looked at Jake, and I was like, man, I think I would die for this guy right now. Like, he's got me fired up. Like, have you ever been around a player that has such an infectious, positive attitude just around the aura that he carries himself with?
No, he's very unique in that way, and especially it was interesting watching as the year went on. Sometimes guys let success go to their head or change a little bit. Like he's still the same Whit Weeks today that he was, when I first came in last spring. But you're exactly right. When you talk about his positivity, like he brings that even when it's 103 degrees out on a practice field and everybody's tired. He's really never negative, to be honest with you. And I think our guys feed off of that. And really, it's something that we try to pride ourselves in, as far as being positive and uplifting and not necessarily dragging each other down. But he's the epitome of it. He does it as well as anybody I've ever been around.
It's a group that's got a lot of players, and you and I have talked about this, a lot of guys that I would consider meatheads, again, term of endearment.
Right.
But I feel like in this defense, like it's important to have those guys. It's important to have those guys, like Flynn said, like I think I'd die for this guy. Well, I think Whit and I think West and I think Piper, like all those guys would die for LSU's defense. And it feels like you've got a great combination of those guys mixed with some just raw talent, mixed with some young guys, mixed with guys from kind of all over the place. It feels like a better mixture of personalities this year.
Oh, for sure. I think it's probably spread out across the board, like you just talked about, when you've got a really, really good, strong group of upperclassmen mixed in with some younger classmen that have played some football as well. But those guys, they spend more time in the weight room and out on the field running 110s than they do, in practice, especially this time of year. So to see those guys in that leadership, getting out there for some team runs this summer and watching them, man, it's imperative. And the unselfishness, like, there's again, we have a lot of really good players, in my opinion, but they're all bought into one common goal. So that makes it we got a chance to have a special unit based off of those things.
Yeah, Coach, and y'all did a really good job this offseason in the transfer portal. You bring in Patrick Payton, you bring in Mansour Delane, Tamarcus Cooley to secure some spots on the defense. Tell me what that process is and just integrating them with two, guys personality-wise, but more importantly, into your scheme.
Yeah, I think it starts. I think our personnel department does an outstanding job with evaluating the type of talent that we feel is a really good fit for what we do defensively. And then it's kind of like speed dating once you're in the transfer portal process. But the one thing I'll say is the advantage you have from a transfer portal process is usually somebody on that staff, whether it be a strength coach, whether it be somebody on the support staff, usually somebody that you've worked with prior, and you can really get a fair assessment. And sometimes their assessment isn't always true as well, just because some guys need a fresh start. And so you got to take all those things into consideration. But throughout that entire process, you have to make sure that they're a fit for the culture. And all those guys that you mentioned have been A+. It's been, again, really, really fun because we needed some upperclassmen, to be honest with you, too. And these guys have come in humble and hungry, and it's been fun to watch the integration of the current players that we had before they arrived, and then once they got here. It's been pretty seamless.
Well, Blake, like you said, you had a chance to see them in the weight room and running 110s, but now here coming up, they're going to be in pads. It's going to be football activities. Which position group, with all the new coming into this LSU defense, and you pair it with guys that were here, which position group do you think you'll eye hustle the most, like in that first week of training camp, to kind of, because you got a belief of what they are and what they can be, but now you want to see it in pads. Which group are you probably going to maybe watch the closest, I guess, that first week of camp?
Yeah, I'd say it's probably twofold. I think the safeties, especially with A.J. Halsey coming in, most of the guys we had through spring practice, so you have somewhat of an expectation of those guys going into the fall camp. But I think the safety position and the defensive tackle position, same thing. We got some new guys that weren't here in the spring. When you look at Bernard and the two freshmen, Buddy Mathis and Brandon Brown, not having a chance. Outside of that, for the most part, and really the young guys at linebacker, I'm really intrigued to see, what those three incoming freshmen do. Again, we had Charles Ross here. So, but overall, I'd say the safety position is probably what I'll be in most interested in, and seeing how those guys gel. I think you have to have such chemistry back there together. And we've been mixing and matching them this summer, and I think it'll be an intriguing position battle.
Hey, Coach, I'm curious as to kind of your schedule once training camp starts with your installation, and then how that kind of flips over to game planning. Of course, you're going to install base defenses, teach them the foundation of what you want to do, and then kind of get into the more detailed and intricate things after that. But week one, you never want to look ahead or game plan. But of course, you face a mobile guy, dual threat kind of guy with a kid club. And do you start integrating those types of defensive philosophies and schemes earlier on because of what you're going to face first game?
Yeah, to be honest with you, that last week of spring ball, we started introducing, Clemson and some of their base plays and honestly some of their problem plays, just to kind of get a look at what we think we might like going into fall camp. So, and I think, Coach Kelly's been open and talked about it. It's something that we've talked about with our guys throughout spring, throughout summer. So, really when it comes to installation, a lot of it's going to be based on when that specific day, early on, Matt, is what I'm talking about. That specific day comes up on the install schedule, whether it be, day one, for instance. And again, from when we played to now, the installation process and the acclimatization process has really changed. I think it's I think it's like 60 or 65% of all camp injuries come in the first 2 days.
Yeah.
We've gotten much smarter and I don't want to use the word easing guys into it, but our practices the first couple of days are generally shorter so they can get acclimated. Again, they've had all summer, but as we all know on this phone call, man, once you start really chasing the rabbit, man, you kick those hamstrings into extra gear. And so I think, from a base installation standpoint, we'll be very similar to really how we were in the spring and how the summer. And then once we start getting into probably about week 2.5, we'll really start probably flipping that switch a little bit.
As Matt mentioned, we were at SEC Media Days last week, and BK got up there, and he's like, hey, we're not hiding from the fact that we're playing Clemson in week number 1. Talked about having Paul Prince around the facility, 1-0 around the facility. That is a little bit different, but I got to be honest, like I really like that. And Matt and I, in our time, we played – I think 3 Power 4 opponents in our 4 years of playing here. And I always Coach, hey, let's don't try to hide from who the opponent is. And I hadn't really seen that in years past when LSU's had these big-time openers. So it seems like it's a point of emphasis to know who the opponent is. Yeah,
I think, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result, right? And so I think that's the coolest thing about Coach Kelly, man. He's always learning. He's always adapting. I think he does it year to year based off the opponent. Also, who is on our current roster. And I think we have a very mature roster that can handle, us. Some when you have a young team, sometimes you can build it up too much, right? And so I think he does a fantastic job with that, but I'm excited about it. I know we're doing some things differently in fall camp, and we haven't gotten necessarily into the nuts and bolts of what those things are going to be, but again, I think it's just created a little more sense of urgency with our guys too.
Yeah, Coach, real quick, tell us about how your new defensive line coach, Kyle Williams, has just kind of dove in and been a part of the staff, the recruiting, just how he's jumped in and really kind of helped us. I was roommates with him for a year in college. I was teammates with him in Buffalo for a cup of coffee. When y'all hired him, I was like, man, I don't want to say this was an amazing hire because he instantly brings experience, but just motivation to guys. So how has he been around the facility?
Man, he's the one thing that's very, very impressive about Coach Williams is how proactive he is at attacking things that he might not necessarily know. And sometimes as a college coach has been doing it a while, you take granted, and I'm talking about the little things like how to do an expense report for recruiting, or even how you go about booking your flight. And man, that dude he's really self-sufficient. He figures stuff out on his own very, very quickly. He's very smart. And again, man, when you've had a guy that's played 13 years, been an All-Pro, was an All-American at the school you're at, I think he has instant credibility with our guys. And I think it's actually even improved throughout the spring as they've gotten to know him, because he coaches them, hard, but he loves them just as hard and will do anything for them. And I think those guys realize that pretty quickly in the process.
All right, Coach, last one. We had you on a couple of weeks ago. You said that it felt like Perk and Witt were both progressing exactly where they needed to be to start training camp. Does it feel the same way, good to go as we hit the ground running here?
Yeah, both guys are fully cleared, and the one thing I've talked to both of them about is we're obviously going to be smart with them in fall camp, and they can't be too big of a meathead where no, Coach, I'm good, right. and you're really not. So it's something, when you talk about kind of position group wise, like who I'm going to be making sure I'm paying attention to, I'll definitely, and it helps having experience with both those guys with making sure that they look crisp. And with today's technology and everything, and with GPSs, we can find out very, very quickly from a analytical standpoint as well. But no, right now, they've had outstanding summers. Both are moving at full speed, and again, we're smart with the volume, especially early on with them.
They have GPSs on them. When we were all playing college football, we had to print off MapQuest to go from place to place. Quite the different times there. Hey, Blake, you're the man. We appreciate it. I know you got literally days before you really get into shutting the door, throwing away the key, football mode. So we appreciate you giving us a couple minutes.
I appreciate y'all having me, man. Always good to talk. We'll talk soon.
All right, there he is. LSU defensive coordinator Blake Baker. We'll take this break, recap what Blake was talking about there when we come back here on OTB.
Off the bench.
All right, go to allstartoyotaofbatonrouge.com, allstartoyotaofbatonrouge.com. Truly the one-stop shop, buying new, leasing, and renting. Every single vehicle is available in all three processes. And you can say, well, yeah, of course, when you're buying new. And honestly, that's not even really the case. Sometimes we go to the lot and you're like, hey, I want this because y'all offer it. It's like, well, we can order that. We'll have it like in 3 months. It's not the case over at All Star. So buying new, leasing, sometimes you'll get like maybe one in each category. And then when you're renting, you get like 3 total. Like, hey, you got a car, maybe you get a midsize SUV, and maybe you get a truck. That's not the case. Everything is available in all 3 of those processes over at All Star. So if you're renting, call Miss Lisa Sessions today in that rental department, or just go to the website. It is allstartoyotaofbatonrouge.com.
Yeah, if you're on the fence, if you're even thinking about a new car, or upgrading, or maybe your car just got a lot of miles on it and it's time for a change, go to their website, explore all the models, makes, everything. Go see what they have on the lot right now. Go visit them, allstartoyotaofbatonrouge.com.
Tigers turn talkers. This is Off the Bench.
Slip inside the eye of your mind. Don't you know you might find a better place to play? You said that you'd never been.
Guess you don't know this one either, huh?
Got this one. Sorry, I didn't know.
It wasn't
track 10 of Oasis.
It wasn't not like track 10. It was track 3.
I think it's
Track 3.
or the.
Is it even on their greatest hits album? Do they have more than one album?
Yes, they have 2, and actually, no, they have more than 2, but they have 2 really good ones.
Yeah. Look,
What's
they got in
the
a fight.
story?
They were brothers.
Morning
Everybody
Glory.
has 2.
All right, I do apologize somewhat, but look, when you have LSU's defensive coordinator, you're not going to go 10 minutes. You're going to go 20 minutes. That's what we did.
Sports!
So we'll make up for it in hour number 3. Nick Underhill, New Orleans Football.
Off the bench.
All right, go to yourgoodwood.com, yourgoodwood.com. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Go ahead and book that appointment. We say it every single time we tell you about Goodwood. Why would you sit there and have an issue and just live with it when there is a company here locally in Baton Rouge that will help you get to the bottom of it? You should not live life with fear or embarrassment, right? The embarrassing thing is to not get it fixed. So go to yourgoodwood.com, set up a consultation. You go, you meet with them, you have some labs drawn, and you figure it out. You get to the bottom line of whatever your issue might be. So many different things also they can help you out with. So I always encourage you, go to the website, find a full list of services, yourgoodwood.com.
Yeah, we all have these human bodies and things go wrong. So why not call somebody, an expert, just to consult, see what they can do. Go check out their services online right now. Call them, see what they can do. yourgoodwood.com.